How's it going, guys? I am Scott, or Grimsie42, like the shirt says, and like I am known on the internet, YouTube, etc. And I've been tasked with answering some questions and then taking on the 1943 One Life Challenge. So without further ado, let's figure it out. I guess right now what's going on in my life is that I've just recently gotten a new puppy, and he is not really a handful, believe it or not, compared to my most recent dog that I got, which is a German Shepherd. This one is kind of a mix. He's a Border Collie Shepherd Lab mix, and super chill, super mellow, so that's what's going on, and it's pretty much a huge relief that it's not as tough as I was anticipating it would be. The favorite console of mine is actually the Sony PlayStation 1, and the reason that I side with that system as my favorite, even though I have a complete NES set, is that just the PlayStation 1 for me was the perfect age group for my life, where, you know, I was like 16 when it came out, so I finally started getting some of my own money, and I was not really an adult yet, but getting there. And it just seemed to resonate with me the most. And what my favorite game on the system is, pretty cliche, I guess, if you will, but it's Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And this is my favorite game for a few reasons. I really like the Metroidvania style. I think that it's actually better than Super Metroid. I know I'll get hate for that, but basically I think that it was the right graphical style for the time. I really liked that they didn't challenge and try to make it a 3D game. I love the 2D sprites. I like the difficulty of it, and I like that you could go beyond the actual scope of the game if you wanted. There were bosses in the game that were actually substantially more difficult than Dracula, which was a really cool, like, I guess, change of pace, and something that was really exciting to me. Basically, I mainly collect NTSC games, and for pretty much every system. The reason I focus on NTSC isn't really due to preference, but availability. I really do also enjoy collecting the PAL-exclusive NES carts, and anything else that I can get my hands on that's an import but is user-friendly. So like the PlayStation 3 will play imports, so I go there, and the PlayStation 4, so things like that where I could just pop in and play. The Retron 5 really helps me to that end. I can play my Famicom, Super Famicom games, things like that, Mega Drive. But pretty much for the most part, I am a everything collector, at least of my own country. I've got over 4,000 games and growing, and unfortunately I'm running low on space, so that is my current hiccup at the moment. I'm going to go right off the cuff on this one. I'm actually going to say when I was probably 13 or 14, my cousin and my aunt and uncle actually moved in to live at my house while they were going through some tough times. And I remember my cousin being that older, cooler guy, and I really enjoyed that, you know, he had video game consoles that I didn't. At the time, he had a Sega Genesis and a Sega CD. And the memory that I have is actually just watching him play. And I think the best thing that came of that is he was playing through Shining Force 2, and that was actually my first experience with an RPG. I'd tried a few in the past, like Dragon Quest and stuff of that nature, and just really didn't enjoy it because at the younger age, I craved action and adventure, and this was more, you know, slow and methodical. But seeing him playing it and reading the story with him and watching him grow in the game really just opened up my eyes to what RPGs could offer, and it, at this point, became my favorite genre. So it was really cool, and it's just something that has stuck with me all these years. Simple answer is that I do collect. I also play games, of course, but basically the way I look at it, or how I rationalize it, as an adult who has a full-time job and a family and responsibilities, unfortunately I don't get the same amount of time or enjoyment out of video games that I did when I was younger, because, you know, we thought we all had it tough, you know, doing school and homework, and games were a great escape. But now it's almost to the point where if I'm playing games too much, I feel like I'm not prioritizing my life properly. But don't get me wrong, I still do enjoy to play games. One of the things I get the most enjoyment out of is when my wife and I will play a game together. We've actually beaten a few games together, which is a really, really cool feeling. Good memory on that is New Super Mario Brothers for the Wii. We actually got to Bowser, and I actually died, and she finished Bowser off. So that's something that was really impressive to me because, you know, I'm leaps and bounds ahead of her in skills, and, you know, I pretty much run through those games. But the fact that I made a hiccup then and that she came through clutch was just really cool and something that meant a lot to me. Alright guys, Grimsie42 here. This is my single and only attempt at 1943. Hopefully I do not suck too much, but let's see if I've gotten worse in the last 10 years or so. I've not played this one for a while. Alright, here we go. This game reminds me a lot of Galaga. Got like this obsession to make sure I shoot every one. That's about to end though, because I'm getting tore up. Oh, running low on energy here. Alright, guess I got through that level. You sunk my battleship. Oh, the music's getting crazy. I hope this isn't anything scary. I ate that bullet. Boss time. It's gotta be. Not sure if this is a battleship that can like laterally move or a flying ship like in a Shield or something, but yeah! Take that, sucker. I guess that's the end of mission 1. Nice. Got my energy back. Good stuff. Mission 2. Let's see if I keep my score. Yep, 91,000. Starting off very similar to the last level. Hopefully I get that cool power up again. I think you gotta shoot that a few times to get that other cool power up. There we go. If I get another one of these, it doubles the range, which is really what I would like. $100,000, that's a cool score. And still climbing. Do you guys know 8-Bit Eric actually licked a nipple to get this game? I actually gave him the copy, so I thought it was a fair trade on my end. Hands are starting to get tired. Don't get old, kids. It makes it tough to play games. Alright, I guess this is the next boss. Oh, wow, that was a nice cluster. I always like to do that. Slows the screen down. Kind of lets you get free shots at these guys. Oh, down I go. Let's see if it shows my score. 117,300. Hopefully you guys can see that. 117,300. Alright guys, Grimsie42, there's the cartridge. I'm actually playing this on my Retron 5. Hope that's not cheating, but hope I did good. Take care guys.